everybody. I'm Anne-Marie Eigner. She's Janet Prensky.
That makes us the Boomer Broads. And welcome to our show. Today we're going to be talking about family. I just returned...
We've all got one.
Like, as they say, you have no choice on that one. You can't choose your family. We prove that consistently, don't we? I just got back from San Francisco. I was there for my niece-to-be, Jen's, shower.
I think part of you is actually still there.
Sadly. Yes, it is. That's a tough trip back. Oh, that's a tough trip. And you know how I travel. But anyway, so I'm in San Francisco with my sister-in-law, my sister, my brother-in-law, my brother, my niece, my fantastic grandniece, Sophie, who I think is perfect. Can't just say she's perfect. Sophie!
Shelley!
Love you! Shelley, love you
job.
too. But good work on that, Sophie. And did I mention my brother David? I don't know. David,
Probably.
love you.
I think he's the type that you want to mention twice.
Yes, and my nephews, Bennett and Evan. So we're all together, and this is an unusual occurrence that we're all together, so it's a lot of fun, and, you know, the dinners are a lot of fun, but I will say there gets a point, when you're in your 50s, as I am, back in the day, wasn't it fun, like you'd go to a hotel and you'd stay with your sister in the same room and you'd tell stories all night?
Don't like that so much anymore.
Well, I was saddled with my sister, and God knows I love my sister, and she knows I do.
Saddled is not
Saddled with staying in the same room as my sister, who unfortunately has some sleeping issues.
See it.
No, okay.
The two of you.
Let me just get... It's one thing when someone... Okay, you get a stuffed nose. Okay, you get a stuffed nose when you're sleeping, so maybe you hear someone struggling with their breathing a little bit, but my sister's like, no, not this. Oh! Oh! I mean, this is hours!
May I ask why she wasn't... her husband wasn't there. Bert
No,
wasn't there.
Bert was there, but he had to stay with Evan, his son, because... Well, we're a little cheap, we Brenskys. We didn't want to buy a million rooms.
Well, plus now
so
that you explain how your sister is, maybe that was the reason you didn't want to...
Well, Bert thanked me profusely, and then Carol, my sister, thanked me because Bert was snoring so badly, Evan was ready to shoot himself. So Evan and I are sleep deprived. My sister and Bert have had lovely sleeps, but that's it, Carol. That's our last time together. I love you, but I will never sleep in the same hotel room with you.
You'll spring for your
I
own
will be
hotel
happy.
room.
I'll pay double. I'll pay triple. Not to be with that girl. But, you know, it is interesting no matter how old you get. I'm 53
You're still the
years
baby.
old. I am the baby of the family. I know that cracks everybody, you know, Beth and Dan up. So imagine me as a baby. But you are what, you're
I'm
the oldest
third,
daughter.
number 3.
The oldest girl.
Yeah.
And you'll always be, you know,
Yeah,
your
and my
sister will
sister's-
always look up
my
to you
sister's
as
my
the
little
oldest.
sister.
Little baby sister.
She's only 18 months younger than I am, and
I
we're
love
both in our 60s, so...
But we wanted to talk sort of about how the whole idea of family has changed over the years, and so much of what our ideas are based on media, of course. And growing up, growing up, you know, I tell everyone how shallow I am, and I was a latchkey kid for one thing. I don't know if you were.
I was
latchkey
too.
So I used to come home and watch TV, the little black and white set in the playroom, and you watched the families. And
Not that family.
Not that family. So
you had some families. You had families. These were your models back then.
Here's the beef. Leave it to Beefer. Oh, lift, lift, and lift, and lift. Ozzy and Harriet.
We're a two-camera show now, by the way.
Oh, Ricky Nelson. God, I had a major crush on Ricky Nelson.
Who didn't?
He died. And then we had my 3 sons. And again, I want to ask everybody, what do you think about Uncle Charlie now?
You
suspect.
You can tell.
What's it about Uncle Charlie? And I want to make an interesting statement about this, because I was thinking you were a single mom.
Yeah.
Bringing up 2 kids. There were a lot of shows, not a lot, but there are 3 shows I can think of when I was growing up that had single fathers bringing them up. My 3 sons being one of them.
Unusual, though. Very, now that you think about it, very unusual.
Family Affair, I don't know if you remember that show with Brian Keith. Very good show. He had a butler bringing up his kids. He had some money. And then The Courtship of Eddie's Father. Do you remember that with Bill Bixby?
Yes.
Yes, another single father. And I was racking my brains.
Kind of interesting, because that was way before it was...
Name a single mother show. I have one.
We have the...
one that I can remember.
With the Valerie Bertinelli, wasn't she?
Oh, that's right. I didn't even remember that one. One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time?
Yes, with, what's her name? Who slept with her father.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah. Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Phillips, who just came out with that whole craziness. But I was thinking of Julia. Do you remember Julia Diane Carroll?
Yes!
Wow.
I do!
I guess she does.
The fact that I remember anything is always
It's
remarkable.
always exciting,
Always a
isn't
surprise
it?
to
God,
me.
me too. Diane Carroll, not only was she a single mom, but she was an African-American mom.
Yes,
and
which was highly unusual.
so it was all groundbreaking, but there weren't a lot of single parent shows. It was more of that nuclear family.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, today it's going to be different. So we started to think of today's shows, but I cannot have here any examples of single parent families. The most famous family, the Cosbys, of course, the perfect family.
Perfect family. Then you got some of these.
An unusual family, no doubt, but a good family.
I think the rest of what you have there are all unusual families.
Hello? What does it mean? What are the Hogans doing?
Please. Odd.
And now isn't she sleeping with her boyfriend?
Yes.
And then, of course, America's sweethearts, the Osbournes.
Although, honestly, they're probably the nicest of all the families.
This is the thing, and you take these two nutty families, Kardashians and the Osbournes, and you think to yourself,
nutty as they may be.
There's a lot of love in these families. They really protect each other. They're loyal to each other. Their parenting is not bad. I mean, the kids might be a little skewed. Obviously, they are. But these are loving parents. It's not like these kids have been thrown to the wolves.
No. And they give their parents, especially the mother, they give their mother a lot of credit. The Kardashians give their father a lot of credit.
The original father and now the stepfather to Bruce Jenner, who's got to work on his plastic. Got to get rid of that plastic surgery.
And honestly, while my nobody asked but this week is about families, honestly, I don't get along with all the members of my family, and I don't know that I ever will. It's sad, and I kind of wish I did.
Do you think it's in your power to get along with them, or it's not going to
sometimes, maybe. I mean, I'm very lucky that I do get along with, there are members of my family who actually do still like me, but there are some who don't, and I don't know that that's ever going to change, because you can't choose your family. You can choose your friends and say, that's the kind of person I want to be friendly with, but you don't choose your family members.
We have, again, back to my sister and the sleeping issues. If I could have chosen, I wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, but you get along with your family.
I love my family.
Them. I even love your family. I love your family.
We're great. We get along
and
great.
I actually love my family, but I don't actually get along
You
with
may
all
not
the
like all of your family members.
And I honestly don't believe that they like
you.
Me. And it's okay. It's not, I'm not saying it's okay for life, and that I I do hope it changes.
Sure.
Maybe someday it will, but
In fact,
that's the way it is right now.
Here's a picture of the Eigner family, actually.
I don't even want to ask you which one is me.
That was a good one.
And is she our broad of the week?
Yes, but we're not getting to her yet. First, I wanted to ask you, because you represent a boomer issue that we've talked about with family, that actually Dan brought to our attention. He's absolutely right, which is so many, and I'm sure a lot of our fans it's the sandwich generation.
Yes.
You found yourself when your dad was dying.
Yes.
Bringing up two kids, a single mom, caring for your dad. That's a
major
major challenge.
It's a very interesting phenomenon. I believe it's existed for a long time. It might be more pronounced now because more women are actually out of the house working. But I remember my aunt and my dad taking care of their mother, in fact, importing their mother from Europe and taking care of her because of the situation in Europe. And actually, it was probably one of the best years of my relationship with my dad when I was able to take care of him. But the financial pressures are great, the time pressures are great. It's very, very difficult. And Dan was telling us, and we share these stories a lot with some of our fans.
Absolutely.
That it's tough. It's very, very tough. And you seek help wherever you possibly can.
Absolutely.
How about a broad salute?
How about our broad salute of the week? And speaking about families, I like her. She's a brassy broad. She's sassy. She's brassy.
And she whipped that man into shape and raised two kids.
She sure did. And now she's on Celebrity Apprentice, and I don't know if anybody is watching that, but I am getting a big kick, and I am predicting a victory for Sharon. Yes, I am. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to run a business. She knows how to run a group. She's not scared to say what's on her mind, and she is a great broad.
I love her, and I'm all for her being our broad salute of the week.
And on that note,
and we hope you have a great family. We hope you get along with your family.
And we'd like to
send us your tales.
Thank you to our ace producer, Dan, who is leaving us because he got a paying job. Can you imagine?
He's going
leaving us for money? I
into
don't know.
big time radio.
Big
in
time
Boston.
radio. Dan,
We're
thank
very
you.
proud of him. Thanks for all that you've done, Dan. Our salute to our producer this week.
If you
We
were
thank him.
abroad, we would have saluted you.
And by the way, we're blessed to have Beth still
Thank
continuing
God.
to work with
Beth,
us.
don't leave us.
We're
Bye,
nothing.
everybody.
We're honestly nothing without you.
See you
Bye,
next
everybody.
week.